Hey Internet, so it's time to finish up our toque. I've got the bulk of my toque knit. This took about 34 rows to knit the main part of the hat, and I now have a little bit over 9 inches in length for a nice slouchy toque. Now in order to decrease the top so that it curves in nicely, we have to reduce our stitches. So we have 80 stitches right now, and we want to reduce the first row by 10. So what we are going to do is do a knit 2 together decrease. So to decrease 10 stitches on our first row, we're going to knit 6 stitches. To take these 2 stitches, which would make 8 stitches, and we're going to pop our needle in the front of them like that. So you normally just knit into the front of one, but we're going to knit in front of 2, make your X, and pop your needle through. And that is a knit 2 together decrease. So another 6 stitches. And then again in through the 2 stitches and knit. And now you've decreased to 7 stitch chunks, which will give you 70 stitches. Okay, so knit the rest of your row, knitting 6 stitches and knitting 2 together, and we will come back. So I've knit to the end of my row, and I've switched to start my next row. We're just going to knit this row to kind of space out our decreased top a little bit and give it a nice curved shape. So knit this row and we will come back. So now that we've knit that row, we're going to do another decrease round. If you think of all of the stitches as in blocks of 10, so we started off with 8 blocks of 10, now we have 7 blocks of 10, and we want to move that down to 6 blocks of 10, if that makes sense. So now we have 70 stitches, and we want to decrease to 60. So we want to knit 5 stitches. And then remember to do your 2, knit into the 2, knit through, and do your knit 2 together decrease. So for this row, remember, knit 5 stitches, knit 2 together. When you get to the end of the row, knit 1 more row, and then we will come back and we will continue the rest of our decrease stitches. So now that I've knit 1 row after my knit 5, knit 2 together decrease row, the rest of the rounds are just going to be decrease rounds. So the next round is going to be knit 4, knit 4, and then knit 2 together, and you'll start to notice these stitches sloping, and that's what you get for the knit 2 together decreases. So knit this round, knit 4, knit 2 together until the end of the row. So I just finished the knit 4, knit 2 together round, so now we're going to go on to the next round, which is knit 3, knit 2 together. And you want to continue doing that decrease until the end of the round. So you can probably see a pattern forming now in the decreases. Last one was knit 4, knit 2 together. This one's knit 3, knit 2 together. So your next round is going to be knit 2 together. Then the next round will be knit 1, knit 2 together. Once you complete those rounds, we will complete the final round of decreases, and I will show you how to finish it up. So here we are at the end. Our final row is going to be all knit 2 together to get us down to 10 stitches. So just going to do all knit 2 together, which I'm trying to do through a viewfinder. Kind of difficult. That's basically what you're going to do. So you just want to finish your entire row just knitting 2 together, which should give you 10 stitches, and then we will finish it up and weave the ends in. So now it's time to finish up our toque so we can wear it. You want to take your scissors and cut off a couple inches of yarn, just long enough to pull it through and weave it in. Then with your darning needle, thread it. Take your live stitches and just start threading your end through those live stitches. And there you have it. You've made a toque. Now, this wool is pretty robust, so you could probably just tie it off on its own. I like to just thread it through those loops again. Because over time, this little belly button on top of your toque can come undone. And then you can give it a pretty good tug. If you're using a wool or a yarn or anything that's not as robust as this, you might not want to pull it so hard because it can rip, but this one's pretty good. We're giving a good pull, and then I like to tie a little knot, even though you're never supposed to tie knots in knitting, but whatever. You don't want it to come apart. And then with that one end, you just want to weave it in. However you weave ends in, I just like to weave them in all willy-nilly like. I'm going to take that end from the start of your toque, and depending on how you're going to wear it, I will wear mine cuffed, because I like a cuffed toque. So I'm going to weave my end in on this side. If you want to wear it slouchy or cuffed, then you can just push it through the knit side. And I think that the best way to do an invisible woven in end on both knit and purl is to just take this and just weave it back and forth between these stitches. And then just lock it in and cut it off close where you wove it in, and it just kind of follows that path and you can't really tell that it's there. And then cut off your end that you wove in, and you've made a toque. How awesome is that? So I hope that you were able to successfully make a really awesome toque from that video. That maybe you can pop out some for the holidays. They're pretty quick and simple to make. So if you want to block your toque, the best way is to soak it, just like the cowl, in some Zero or some wool soak, and rinse it out. Roll it out in a towel to absorb the extra moisture, and then lay it flat to dry. And you can stick a plate or something in it to give it a bit more of a slouchy shape or to help maintain its shape. If you put it on a towel and use some pins, you can flatten out any bits that are rolling. You can do that if you feel like it. Our next project will be a pair of fingerless gloves. I will be using Abode by Barocco, because I think that's how you say the name of the company. It's a pretty cool yarn that just came out. You'll need size 8 circular needles in order to knit them on the round. And in that project you will learn how to do a tubular cast on, which is casting on for ribbing, and then how to knit off of waste yarn to make your thumb. And then you can apply those to the toque or even the cowl projects that we did. I hope that this has all been helpful to you and that you'll join me for our third and final project, the fingerless gloves. Happy knitting, Internet!